What's going on, everybody? Steven with South Point Survival here, and man, it has been a while since my last video came out. I want to talk a little bit about that, and then I want to talk about something else, which is prep related. So if you would bear with my little story here at the beginning. I've been working a lot of hours recently, and so, you know, 10, 12, sometimes even 14-hour shifts. It's completely exhausting, and I know a lot of you guys are dealing with the same thing, because we're all out here doing what we have to do to keep our heads over water. We're dealing with all this inflation right now. The grocery store has become real expensive. Our utility bills have gone through the roof. You know, I just recently had to buy gas, and that bill was absolutely ridiculous. And there's just so much stuff that we're having to shell out cash for. We're just not bringing it in fast enough. And I'm just doing everything that I possibly can. I'm getting a lot of emails and direct messages from you all talking about the things that you guys are dealing with. And it's really nice to be able to go back and forth with the community and find out what things you're experiencing with. And sometimes maybe I can offer some insight to something that you weren't thinking about. And a lot of times you guys are giving me ways that I can make improvements as well, and I really appreciate that. It's crazy how fast everything moves in the world as well, where, you know, one minute we're all thinking, everybody's thinking about the shortage of baby formula, right? And I got an email about somebody who is out there still dealing with that. They're like, hey, you know, this has been going on for many months, and I still can't find this stuff, where I'm having to go all over to find this one canister of this stuff. And we tend to forget about that kind of stuff because we're always moving on to the next topic, right? One minute we're thinking of the formula, and then the next minute we're thinking of, you know, some other kind of ouchie poke, you know, kind of thing that's going on in the world. It's crazy. It moves so fast. But I wanted everybody to know that I am here. I am very active on Instagram. For some reason, I get more messages through Instagram than I do through my actual email address that I have set up through YouTube. And that's fine, whichever way is better for you guys. I understand that some people here also do not use Instagram, and that's perfectly fine as well. I mean, just whichever way that you feel like, if you want to reach out, then reach out by all means, because I'm always here to answer those questions the best that I can. I don't always have the answers. You know, sometimes I'm out there talking to you guys trying to find answers for myself as well. But I think, again, that's the big part of the community, and I think that's what a lot of us are lacking, and what a lot of us really need during these times. So one of the preps that I wanted to talk about today is a car prep, and that prep is this is what I have right here, which is a tire plug kit. Just recently, I think it was Monday or Tuesday of this previous week, I was driving to work and I ended up with a flat tire. I think it happened pretty close to when I got to work, because I didn't have anything pop up on my dashboard talking about, you know, TPMS sensors or, you know, low air pressure, that kind of thing. It's basically the same kind of thing. But I didn't get any kind of indication that I had low air pressure. And I do stay on top of keeping my air pressure at the proper PSI for my car. So sometimes it's 32, and some cars want 35, and some may want a little less or a little more, or maybe it's just your preference. But nonetheless, I still stay on top of where it's supposed to be, and I try to keep on top of that maintenance. So anyways, I was driving to work, and then I was just starting to pull into a parking spot, and it felt a little wobbly in the front. And then as I backed into the spot, I noticed I had a flat tire. And it's one of those things where it got me thinking, you know, I did have a kit, you know, like this in my vehicle, and I always keep a tire repair kit and a little air pump in my vehicle at all times, just for such an occasion. And it's not something you're going to use all the time, but it's one of those things that when you need it, you really wish you had it. Because what is the alternative to not having a repair kit in your vehicle? Either one, you're going to have to this worst case scenario, you're going to have to call a tow truck. And again, due to all the inflation and the high gas prices and diesel costs and stuff right now, that bill has gone extremely high. I made a call to a couple of places just to kind of get an idea. I didn't need to use their, I didn't really need to use their services, but I wanted to get an idea what it would cost from where I was to where I wanted to go, which was, you know, probably some 30 miles away. And it was $350 or something like that to get a tow. And the guy said to me, and whether he's pulling my leg or not, I don't know, but he said to me, "I'm cutting you a deal." Now, after he said that, of course, that's what prompted me to make another phone call. And the other guy was quite a bit higher than him. He was like $400 and something. And I asked, I said, "Why is it so expensive to go such a short amount?" And he goes, "Well, one, we have to drive to you, and then we have to load you up, and then we have to take you there, unload you, and then we have to drive back to where we were, back to our shop and all," which it's like 3 trips for them going, you know, different directions. And he goes, the cost of diesel fuel and stuff right now is just so high that you know, we don't have any option but to charge so much for that kind of thing. So I didn't really think about it as extensively as that many trips, you know, them coming to me, going to where I want to go, and then them going back. Even though, you know, that's what happens. It's just that when you're thinking of pricing and stuff, you're just thinking, all I need to do is go from point A to point B. But they got to go to point A to point B to point C. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about like tow trucks and stuff. Now, there are services out there, like in the Carolinas where I live at, there's a service called AAA. And AAA does like towing and stuff like that. You pay an annual fee and they do towing for different areas, and they'll give you 1 or 2 tows, I think, depending on what package you get per year. But they also offer like locksmith if you lock yourself out of your car, or you get locked out of your home and stuff, little things like that as well. The other alternative is to obviously go to your trunk or whatever, get your jack out, jack your vehicle up, take the old tire off, and put your full-size spare or your dummy donut tire on, and then take your old tire to a service center and have them patch and repair your tire. But then talking to a coworker, I realized, and I did some research on this as well, and he's right. I thought the guy was like, "Are you serious? Like, there's no way. There has to be a spare tire in your car." But no, apparently all the new vehicles of today, well, at least 30 or 40% of them do not have spare tires in them. They don't come with spare tires in them from the factory. And what a lot of companies are now including in the vehicle where there was a spare tire is they're just putting a little bag kit in there that has a can of Fix-A-Flat and maybe some little like things like valve caps and stuff like that. Really, like, there's nothing to it. There's no tire at all. No tire, no rim, nothing. So if you drive a newer vehicle, it might be worth checking that out before you end up with a flat tire. You might want to know ahead of time if you even have the option to change a tire. So definitely check into that. If you got an older vehicle, more than likely you're going to have, like I said, you're either going to have a full-size spare that sits in your trunk, or you're going to have a little dummy donut, I call them, but they're the little really narrow small tires that just is basically a crutch to get your vehicle off the road and then maybe to a repair center. The only other alternative other than that would be to fix it yourself. And that's what I'm talking about today, and that's what I did with this kit. There's 2 ways that you can fix a tire. You can fix a tire externally, which is with a plug kit, or you can fix a tire internally with a patch kit. And that's what a lot of service centers do. It is technically the better way to repair a tire, but it requires them to take the tire off the rim, and then for them to go in and sand the inside, and then apply an adhesive and then a patch, and that's how the tire gets repaired. Now, again, like I said, it's probably the best way to get a tire fixed, but that's not to say that this isn't a good alternative. What you're doing with a plug kit is you're actually taking a piece, what some people call them strings, but it's a very sticky substance. It's like having tar or something wrapped around a shoestring or something. Of course, it's not that, but I'm trying to keep it very simple so that a lot of people can understand what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, let me just break one out and show you what I'm talking about. So you have these guys right here. These are the plugs. These are tire plugs, and without touching them, you can see that it's pretty sticky. But this is a series of like threads or cords or something that run through this, and then it's coated in this sticky substance. And what you're doing is you're running it through a tool like this. This is what installs it. You're pushing that cord through here and coming out the other side, and it's pushing into the tire. Some people twist it, some people don't, but I give it a little bit of a twist, and then you pull it out, and you want to leave the plug in the tire, and it basically fills the hole. It's something that's very simple to do, and you don't have to take the tire and rim off of the vehicle to repair it. All you have to do is find out where the nail or the screw or whatever it was went into the tire, and then insert that little piece, that little tacky plug, or the screw or whatever it was went into the tire, and then insert that little piece, that little tacky plug into the hole to fill the hole, and then re-air up your tire. So if you guys want to see a video, maybe I can get with a local tire shop or a junkyard or something and get an old tire and do like a demo of how to plug a tire, so you guys have some understanding of how that process works. It's not very time consuming at all. It can be tough just depending on the nature of what cut through the tire or whatever, but it's not bad. It's not a hard thing to do. So I want to take a moment right here in the video to kind of hit the brakes for a second, and I want to talk about a giveaway. Now, a lot of people don't make it this far into the video. They'll watch the beginning of the video, and then they'll watch the end of the video, and they'll look for things like contests and stuff like that, but I want to insert this here. In this video, I am giving away this kit. This is a brand new kit. This isn't the one that I used. The one that I used is very similar to this, but it wasn't this kit specifically. What this kit consists of: you have the Allen wrenches here, which are made for tightening up the tool, this piece right here. So you have the Allen wrenches for tightening the tool up. You have an air gauge. You have a little pair of needle nose pliers in here so you can pull the nail or the screw out of your tire. It has 2 stacks of plugs right here. You have the reamer, which is how you open the hole up to the size of the plug. And then you have the installing tool, which is how you put the plug into the tire. A little jar of lubricant. The lubricant is used on the reamer and on the installer. I don't personally use them, but I know for some people it's a little bit easier if it has a little bit of lubrication on it, but like I said, I personally don't use it. And then you have this little box here that has a little gadgets in it. So you have, this is what they call a core tool, and the core tool is taking the little spring out of the valve stem. You have some replacement valve caps, chrome, and then down here you got some black plastic ones. You got the cores themselves. Can I see that? And those cores are basically, you know, like I said, those are what's in the little plunger that you see down inside the valve stem that fills it where you put air in a tire. And then you have the knife or a razor blade, and that razor blade is used to trim off the excess plug, because you don't want a lot of plug sticking out of the tire, because if you drive like that, there's a chance that the road could grab onto it and then pull the plug out of the tire, so then you end up with a flat again. And then it comes with some instructions. Basically just shows you very generally how to repair a tire. But yeah, I'm giving away this kit. So in the comments, leave a comment. We're gonna try to disguise it the best we can, but in the comments, put the word plug kit, PLUGKIT, all in caps, and leave it in a comment. Like, I could use a plug kit for my vehicle or whatever, or just kind of talk about whatever, but just drop the word plug kit in there somewhere, so they just look like random random comments that people are leaving. And ask legit questions if you have questions about it, or you don't like these in your preps, or maybe you never thought about using this and you think it's a good idea. Leave those comments as well. I just didn't want a whole series of comments to say plug kit, plug kit, plug kit, plug kit, plug kit, like that, and then people who don't follow the channel or don't watch the videos and stuff, they're going to see that and then they're going to enter it, and just because they see people doing that, they know it's a contest, and then they're entered as well, and they never watched anything. I'll probably draw it in about a week. So I'm filming this today on a Sunday. I'm going to try to get this video out today if the audio and the video comes out great. And then I'll wait one full week. So maybe next Sunday, or maybe I might even do it Saturday. So Saturday or Sunday, I'll draw it again. So next weekend, I'm going to filter out any duplicates. So if you want to leave a regular comment and then you want to leave a comment that says plug kit in there, you can have multiple comments, but only the one where you left the word plug kit is going to count. So don't put plug kit in every comment that you have as additional entries. I'm just doing it to kind of keep it fair for everybody. So hopefully that explains the contest. It's kind of short and simple, but I figured I'd throw that in there. I think that's about all I had for this video. I do think that these plug kits are very important to have in your preps. I think it's one of those things that will save you a lot of money. It will save you a lot of time from having to travel somewhere and get the tire swapped out, or sitting in a lobby at a service center for however long. Sometimes you might be there for 15 minutes, and sometimes you might be there for an hour and a half. But you know how that kind of thing is. Anytime that you're dealing with any kind of car repair, I mean, it could go quicker, it could take a long time. But let me know in the comments below what you think about plug kits, and is it something that you have in your preps, or is it something you think that you would want to add to your preps, or do you think it's just a waste of time? Me personally, I have one in my vehicle. I've always had one in my vehicle, and it's not something you use all the time. Like I said, the one that I have has probably been in my vehicle for over a year, and I finally got to use it for the first time, or not really the first time, but maybe the second time in a long period of time. So they last, they don't expire. Just make sure everything is in good shape before you go to use it, because the last thing you want to do is have a tool break or something on you, but chances of that are pretty slim to none if you do it properly. So I hope you liked the video. I hope that you found parts of it informative, and until next time, please be safe, and I will see you on the next video.